so here we go, man. Let's look at this deal. All right, so the agreement is in principle. Republicans briefed Saturday. Sunday, the Democrats was briefed. Tuesday, the House Rules Committee, at least 12 Republican members will oppose, which was today. Wednesday, the House is expected to vote. And after that, the Senate is expected to take action on the bill. Let's put that in their face all day so they can see it. Let it cover the screen. Because we need y'all to see this, how this is going down. And let's break the bill down right quick, man. All right, so here's the budget. The budget was trash. All right, the debt ceiling deal, the debt ceiling is rumored to be raised by a specific amount. Now we got it. Instead, the debt ceiling will not be capped till 2025. Here's some adjustments they made. The adjustments they made was this. The new bill will increase this deficit by $4 trillion up to 35 trillion. But watch this. They're going to suspend the spending to 2025. Suspend the cap. So they made some adjustments later today. So here's what this is. They've increased the ceiling, the debt ceiling. They've increased it to $4 trillion, which puts it at 35 trillion. Right? They increased it by $4 trillion to 35 trillion. But guess what? Guess what? They put a caveat in there that said it could be uncapped, meaning they can go over. What? What the heck? What the? What? So that means we're looking at, watch this, we're looking at another, we could reach, if we go in recession, deeper recession, because that's what's headed that way, we could go to $40 trillion. So here's the thing. Watch this. This is crazy. We only had a budget cut of $50 billion. So let me make this make sense. We only had a budget cut of $50 billion. So what does $50 billion mean? $50 billion equals 0.02% of GDP. Okay, let me make that make a little more sense to you. That's the equivalent of everybody putting up $200. That's what they're equivalent to. We are $31 trillion in the debt. They just told them they can go up to $35 trillion in debt, and all they cut was $50 billion in spending. I want us to just sit on that. We $31 trillion in debt, and all they cut was $50 billion in spending. That $50 billion equals 0.02% of the budget. That don't even make no sense. You could have just said we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. Because that ain't gonna do nothing. Now, the Republicans came up with a deal. Now, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm just saying, here's the deal. The Republicans say, hey, check this out. We need to stop spending. We won't cut by 1.5 trillion. The Democrats said, hell no. I told y'all last week, one party won't cut the spending. The other party wants to spend. But watch this. Here we go. Here we go. So now, watch this. 21 billion in IRS spending got to stop. So that's what they said. 21 billion in IRS. Now remind you, $50 billion. No defensive spending for the rest of 2024, and they can increase it by 1% in 2025. Okay, let's go a little further. Watch this. Here's what we get hit hard at. Here's what the people suffer at. Stricter work enforcements for people on food stamp distribution. Read that again. They cutting the bill by $50 billion. 50 billion. IRS got to stop spending 21 billion. Defensive spending going to be flat for the year. They can increase about 1% next year. But watch this. Stricter requirements for food stamps distribution.
What's good, trappers, man? It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Right now, I want to invite you to an amazing experience full of value. That is my community, Trappers Anonymous. It's 100% the greatest fundamental investing community on the market. Listen, your portfolio should be a masterpiece. And the only way we get you there is if we help you to learn how to invest with confidence. Now listen, I get it. Like, you don't know a lot about stocks, or maybe you've heard people say how much money they lost in stocks, but I can guarantee you, one, because they weren't in the community, and two, they lack the information. Our goal in Trappers Anonymous is to help you, really to hold your hand on the journey to becoming a confident investor, learning how to navigate through the different events that the stock market goes through to take you from panic to encouragement. There's no better time than now. This is an opportunity only for those who are willing to be on the journey. So listen, man, click the link below. Come join me in Trappers Anonymous, man. I will see you in one of our many classes, whether it's Moat Monday, whether it's the 2-hour class we do on Sunday, or whether it's just a book club. Everything is geared toward making you a better investor so you can triple your net worth and turn your last name to an asset. It's your boy, Wall Street Trapper. See you in the trap.
They're reclaiming $30 billion in COVID funds. Where'd that come from? Oh, and last but not least, student loan debt will resume July 31st. Okay. Student loan debt payment will resume July 31st, 1 month ahead of time. First of all, I want to talk about something. Where's you reclaiming the $30 billion in COVID money from? Where you reclaiming that from? Right? So, but now you going to cut the people food stamps? Essentially, that's what you're doing. Essentially, you're saying we cutting the food stamps by saying stricter requirements. It's already strict to get food stamps. So essentially, you're saying we're going to cut the food stamps a little bit, but you want to go a little deeper because, see, it's unconstitutional to cut Medicaid and Medicare off. So it's unconstitutional to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security off. So you're going to start with food stamp, stricter requirements. I want y'all to read between the lines. I want you to read between the lines. Stricter requirements for food stamps, that's the low-hanging fruit. The food stamps is the low-hanging fruit. Next, you're going to hear what? Stricter requirements for what? Medicaid, Medicare. It's coming. Stricter requirements. That's what they're going to say. See, it's unconstitutional to cut it. It's in the Constitution that you got to take care of those things. It's in the Constitution you got to take care of Social Security. Guess what? Stricter requirements. Stricter requirements. I just want y'all to watch the play. They running the play. I'm not trying to run the play. I'm trying to Ray Lewis. I see it. I'm trying to point out the defense to you. I'm on defense. We're trying to point out what the play they running. Omaha. I know what that means. I know what that means when they say Omaha. They running the play. Press coverage. Abort the mission. Audible. Cover 2. Something. All right, but you ain't going to believe me. You're going to wait, and then you're going to complain about it. Let's go a little further, man. Watch this. The debt ceiling been raised for 2 years. Cuts finished. Watch this. $10 billion of new IRS. I won't get this out. I say new taxes on government programs. Watch this. Domestic program spending frozen for the year. Okay, let's go a little further for that. Domestic programming. What is that? That is the programming that me and you use on a day-to-day basis. That is stuff like spending for police, spending for bridges, spending for infrastructure, domestic programs, spending for child care, stuff like that's domestic. This is a broad tent. We can just go in there and pick something. We want to cut spending on this. We want free spending on things that help the people. Domestic programming. That's a list of about 300 things. We want to free spending on helping the people. That's what they ain't cut money on. Building prisons. I bet you they ain't gonna cut that. You know how much money it takes for you to bring somebody to jail? To put them against trial? Private prisons. They ain't cut that spending. Guess what else spending they ain't cut? I don't care if you don't like it. The gun manufacturing. The gun distribution. Mass killings all over America. We the only country got mass killings like crazy. Guess what? I don't care if the people come after me. You know the people, the gun people, they gonna be mad at this. I don't care. You know why? Because people gonna shoot up schools, bro. That don't make no sense. This is not cool. This is not cool. Domestic programming gonna affect your community. They freezing the things that help us, but the things that's killing us, guess what they ain't cutting? All the poison they're putting in the food. They ain't cutting that. They ain't cutting the fake organic alkaline stuff they're putting us in the stores. They ain't cutting that. The pork that's on the shelves, they ain't cutting that. The CO2 that comes from agriculture from cows, they ain't cutting none of that. They're not cutting that. Did you know that a cow manure produces more harmful gases than 10, 18-wheelers going on the highway? Did you know that? Did you know that? The gas that comes from cow manure produces more pollution in the air than a highway full of 18-wheelers. But nobody never talks about that. Nobody never goes at the agriculture business like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm about to start a farm my damn self. And we probably gonna have a cow. But Shauna like, why? You was doing good till you went to, I was doing good till I got to that point, L? God damn. L was like, you was doing good till you got there. Leave that part out of it, Trap. All right, damn. Let's go a little further, man. Shit. All right, let's put some things in perspective right quick, right? The U.S. has added $8 trillion in federal debt since the United States has added $8 trillion in federal debt from 2020. So from 2020 to now, the United States has added $8 trillion in debt. From 2020 to 2023, the United States has added $8 trillion in debt. I want you to think about something. Before that, it took us 227 years to add that much debt. So what we did in 227 years, we did it again in 3 years. Some estimates show that $4 trillion in debt will be added by 2025. If a recession hits or a stimulus event takes place, we could easily reach $40 trillion in debt. Watch this. 25% of all government revenue go towards just the interest alone. 25% of the government revenue, 25% of the revenue of this country go just to paying the interest on the debt. What do you think happens when we go $40 trillion in debt?